Hey, just a quick heads up. Content here may not appeal to everyone. If you don't resonate with what's shared here today, that's okay. We all have our own journey in life, so please respect our shit and we'll respect yours.
Welcome to the Own Your Own Shit Show, where we talk about how emotions and thoughts affect your whole health. I'm Lisa from Beyond Balance, and I'm a nurse and massage therapist and a mind-body connection coach. I help women overcome cyclical thought patterns and release stress in your mind and your body.
Nice. Hi, and I'm Andrea Coulter, and I'm a doctor of medical health and I'm the creator of the IOME healing system, and basically my focus is on how the body is affected by your thoughts and your emotions. So that's the reason why we're doing this show today, right? Yeah. So to get started, we thought, hey, Own Your Own Shit Show is all about owning your own shit. So we're going to talk about digestion. And, what you put in your mouth eventually makes it out the other end. And how well it does that all depends on so many factors, not just the physical factor, but the mental, emotional as well. So what do we want to talk about with digestion? Because it's such a massive subject.
Oh, it is.
So where should we start? We don't want to start with talking about the poo.
That's true.
So, what's your thoughts on digestion?
It's definitely something that's affected my whole life,
Okay.
Since I was at least between 3 and 6 years old. And there's a big anxiety component to...
Absolutely.
Even just social pressures with using public washrooms. People like to stay in their own home and go to the washroom.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Absolutely. There is a lot of people that have very bashful bowels and bladders.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, that's actually a good subject. So let's actually talk about, both of us actually, funny enough why we got this started is because we both suffer with digestive issues. I think probably 99% of the population struggles with some digestive issue of some sort. I mean, the digestive system is huge. You've got your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, you got the pancreas involved, and the spleen, and the gallbladder, and the liver, and the bowels, and everything else in between. There's so many components that can go wrong. And when one goes wrong, it filters up and down either way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when you said you struggled with digestive issues, what were your issues? And if we maybe each of us talk about what ours is, that might be a good starting point for today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Mine is more the psychological component. So if I'm going to do something that is a little bit scary, then everything kind of starts to fall apart. Get the cramps and the butterflies and the bloating, gas. And then it's just embarrassing having to tell people about that or not tell anyone because that is a bit of a taboo subject. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's kind of affected me for at least 30 years now.
Oh, yeah. But you've learned ways to overcome it. And so can you share some of that with us? Like some of the ways that you're so mind talking with yourself. Like, do you talk yourself down when you feel things getting worked up? Is there certain supplements or things that you use? Like what sort of things have you used to help you kind of overcome?
Yeah, I try to talk myself out of the situation and just say, it's all good. Everyone uses the washroom. It's not a big deal. And I also, I try not to eat foods that are going to upset my stomach too. So I've cut out gluten and dairy, other different things that have kind of bothered me too. So that's been a huge help.
When you're do you use supplements like enzymes or, there's eat charcoal for gas, like all those? Have you tried those?
I used to have digestive enzymes, but actually deep breathing has really helped.
Nice.
So just trying not to be too overwhelmed in a situation, and that's where I feel the tension is my stomach. So instead of feeling all tight, I'll just do some deep breathing and try and relax that area, and typically that helps if I'm in a panic attack or something that's going to happen. I really try and get a hold of my thoughts.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's sort of one of the biggest parts of this whole show is helping people to understand that what you're thinking triggers your emotional response, which then triggers the biochemical response in your physical body. And we all need to sort of take a little bit more ownership into how and what we decide to choose to think about and how our emotions react, and knowing that that's actually what's affecting our physical body. And instead of just thinking that, oh, it's just a physical thing, and you know, and if I block it with these medications or these drugs, or if I just avoid or whatever, that it'll go away. But if you really need to do the whole thing in order for it to recover, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah, so for me, it's interesting that yours is more the upper and mine was all the lower. So for me, it was irritable bowel. So same thing. I used to show horses, and so every time getting prepped for the horse show in the morning, the anxiety would hit. And for me, it was running to the porta potty. Thank God I could go to a porta potty. Running to the porta potty and like diarrhea galore, right? So, and I would have to purge and purge and purge until it stopped, basically, before I could then compete, right? And then that sort of is what I've always struggled with. So exactly, fixing diet and things like that, recognizing the things that trigger my body to have that bad reaction over the years. But funny enough, it is an anxiety thing that really triggers our whole digestive system to a large degree. So the thing is that the fight or flight, right, body, is that when you're in fight or flight, as opposed to just zenful, peaceful state of being, the body has to take energy away from your digestive system, right? So that you can send the energy out to the organs to run or fight, right? So digestion always takes a back seat, right? So when we're in chronic stress, which is 99% of the population today, right? What happens is the digestive system gets shut down in various ways. And each of us have our own kind of weakness and that gets affected, whether it's the pancreas or your gallbladder or your liver or your stomach and acids and things like that. So,
Interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything else we should add?
I know that a lot of people kind of scarf their food down. And
I used to do that.
Yeah.
That's
well, because
true.
you're trying to eat on the run and...
Oh, as a kid, I was told to hurry up.
Well, there you go.
Right?
Exactly.
Because, I would get literally the lights would go off in the dining room after everybody had left and if I wasn't done.
Oh.
I know, right?
I know.
So I'm a gorger and I have to make myself, that's a good point, slow down.
Yeah.
That's true too, which causes gas and...
Exactly. And
That's
if you
true,
don't
too.
digest your food starting in your mouth, then your body has a difficult time to digest everything else and then take the proper nutrients, and then it just kind of either wants to push everything away or down, or it keeps it nice and tight and you can't go to the washroom. So,
That's right. Yeah, for sure. And so for me, the other part of not just physically being attentive to your food, which absolutely is important. I can remember way back when, I can't remember who told us this, but I remember one point in my healing journey in the 80s, we'd gone to this naturopath and his big thing was all digestion. And so we talked about chewing your food 100 times before you swallow.
Oh, that's
Did
good.
you ever hear that?
Yeah.
That was like one of the biggest things way back then, that everybody always make sure you chew your food before you swallow, like 100. You have to count to 100. So we'd have to count to 100. Yeah.
Oh,
before
that's
we were allowed.
good.
I know, right? I don't know if I could do that though. That's a lot of chews.
That's a lot of chews.
Depends on what you're eating.
Yeah, that's right. That's
However, one of the things that I've learned in my own journey with all of this too is that actually digestion is all about, like, when anxiety for sure, but it's also looking at how we assimilate life.
Yeah.
So, because a lot, not just anxiety and anxiousness and tensing up and stopping the flow, what also happens is digestion itself can be more subtle in being blocked because you're struggling with assimilating what you're taking in all around you. Right?
That's very true.
So that's another, to me, that's an important component. So it's not just about the nutrients that you're taking in, but a lot of people in this, I'm finding in my own practice, is what I see a lot of people struggling with is actually absorbing their nutrients.
Right.
They may be eating really, really well, but they're still not thriving and they're still having issues with with energy and nutrients and aches and pains and things like that, because even though they do everything right, the body isn't actually assimilating and absorbing properly.
Right, that makes total sense.
And it's because they're not really processing life in general as a whole.
Yeah.
So I think what I wanted to talk about with all of this too is just with your digestion, whatever level you have an issue with, start to pay attention to, okay, upper digestion is swallowing. What am I having trouble swallowing in my life right now?
Yes,
right?
That's
Or
a real good one.
digesting. What am I having trouble digesting? You know, what am I taking in, or what's going on in my life that I'm not liking? Right? And then going further down into, I'm not going to get into all the organs today, but even just basic bowel, right? So small intestine is where you absorb your nutrients. So where are you blocking yourself from absorbing what is going on in your life, you know? And then large bowel is, yes, elimination, holding in, control issues, right?
Yeah, it's me.
A lot of people, constipation, things like that, it becomes a control.
Yes, letting it go.
Yeah, learning to let go and to relax, go with the flow.
Yeah.
But also secrets. That was one thing I heard. We talked about diverticulitis and the cecum over here, and the holding in there. That can be secrets. What are you holding in your life that you're afraid to share? Afraid that maybe people won't like you if they actually find out who you really are.
Yeah.
I've done that a lot, you know. Again, the whole point of this show is we decided, you know what? We're calling it Own Your Own Shit Show because we don't give a shit.
That's right.
We're doing it to make us happy and to help anybody else in the world that seems to think that this is a great concept and wanting to look a little bit further into how your mind and your thoughts and your emotions are affecting your health. So I guess what we want to do to wrap up is basically say, thank you for joining in our conversation. We hope you stick around for more conversations. Please subscribe below. We'd love to have you stick around, and we want to know, what do you think? Share all your comments below. You can reach out to us. You'll have our separate links below, so you can also reach out privately to us. But we'd love to know, what do you want to know? Like, what physical ailments are you struggling with that you'd like to kind of know? Well, what thought and emotion is affecting us?
Yeah.
How is that affecting me?
Yeah, and it can start with something physical, like if you have an area in your body that you're not feeling very good, or you're just feeling unhealthy, then we can kind of help track it back to the thought and the belief around that.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we want to help you. That's the point of this, is for us to be able to help you. So tell us what you think. Subscribe for sure. We're going to stick around. We plan on doing these every couple of weeks. We're going to put one out, and so hopefully you're going to be here with us. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. So anyway, definitely subscribe below, and we will see you on the flip side. Remember, own your own shit, because we will help you do that.
That's right.
Okay? Bye.
Don't forget to connect with us on your favorite social media sites so you can share your whole healthcare woes, wins, and other shit you'd like to discuss with us.
I'm going to make sure it's recording. All right. Okay. And we can just keep doing this forever until we run out of recording.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we'll piece it together.
That's true.
All right. And
Okay.
I don't know whether you can keep that. Yeah, whatever.
That's right.
All right.
Welcome to the Own Your Own Shit Show, where we talk about how your thoughts and emotions affect your whole health.
Perfect. We can cut that out.
Yeah, that's true.